Hey guys, welcome back to Front Row Seats. Today we'll be looking ahead towards this weekend's fixtures in the Premier League. As always, I'm joined with my new co-host and my new partner of Front Row Seats. Ben, how are you, my friend?
I'm good, mate. How are you? Hello, guys. How are you all?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Also, apologies if you had any drilling in the background. Ben's neighbours are having something done. Also, my housemate's hoovering at the minute, so if you hear that as well, I do apologise. Hopefully, it doesn't disturb the audio too much. But let's get straight into it. So the first game of the weekend, 12:30, is Nottingham Forest versus Bournemouth. No, I'm joking. It's Leicester versus Liverpool. Now, Ben, this is quite an interesting game because I generally believe both teams are not in the title race.
Agreed.
And they're both challenging for top four.
Agreed.
Right. So Leicester currently sitting third on 43 points, and Liverpool in fourth with 40 points. Now Liverpool win, they go above on goal difference. But if Leicester win, they could go 6 points clear of fourth, which is a massive
point stage of this season.
100%. And obviously, Vardy's back for Leicester now. Leicester at home, but Liverpool aren't going to need to bounce back soon. My question to you, Ben, is this the game Liverpool bounce back?
It's a very interesting. It's a couple of interesting games this weekend, simply because of form one way or another. Yeah. Now, this is one of them. Liverpool aren't firing on all cylinders, and neither are Leicester.
Nope.
Now, if both teams were, this would be
a great game.
A very good game.
Yeah, it wouldn't be.
I can see this being a tight 1-1 because
1-1.
To be honest with you, I've gone for 1-1. I can go 2-1 either way. I'm very indecisive on the game because I can't see a definite winner out of it, but I can see it slow, depending. It's just who turns up on the day, really. Obviously, Liverpool is Liverpool at home, I believe.
No, Leicester's at home.
Leicester's at home, so
even though it doesn't make a difference, does it? In a minute.
Well, no, I know. This season's away games have been more wins than there has been home wins.
Yeah,
so that could be an advantage for Liverpool.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's one of those games. It's very hard to call because, like we both say, it's both teams aren't firing. So Salah and Mane don't look past them. Don't look the best. Vardy's just come back from injury, so will he be 100%?
Yeah. I hear that.
But yeah, it's going to be very interesting. It's very tough to call. If I'm a betting man, I couldn't bet on that game because of literally of how either way it could go. But my gut's telling me 1-1, maybe a slight 2-1 either way kind of situation.
I hear that. I don't know why I said if you're a betting man, because you're a betting man. But anyway,
I don't win it now.
yeah, that's true. I'm actually going to pick Liverpool just to win it 2-1 because I just think Leicester. Don't quote me. So I know someone might quote me. I think Leicester's record against top six is not great, and I think that's where they slip up, and that's why I've always said they're not going to try for the title this year because they slip up against these big teams. I just think Liverpool are due a win, and also they seem to be better away at the minute. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 Liverpool win. But like you said though, bro, it could go either way. But I'm going to say Liverpool 2-1 win. Next up is a game that I can promise you will not be that interesting.
The Ball Fest, shall we say?
The Ball Fest. We could get it wrong. It could be 4-4, but I doubt it. Roy Hodgson's Crystal Palace versus Sean Dyche's Burnley. Now, there's not much talk about this really because obviously we look at the league table right now. Palace at the 13th on 29 points. Burnley are 17th on 23 points. They're still like 8 points clear of Fulham. Obviously, if they win this and results go away, they could be like 11 points clear. But and with Palace, I mean, I don't know if Zaha's back.
Neither do I. That's the biggest question.
If Zaha's not back, then Burnley will win because Palace was shocking on Monday. But if Zaha back, they've always got a chance. I'm gonna be bored. I'm gonna go for a 0-0. What do you think?
I've gone for 1-0 Burnley. I've gone for a typical 1-0 Burnley. I just think Burnley defensively are very sound as usual. They've actually got some good results recently, and I think they'll look at it as if they win this game, because there's some Fulham have got a good game this weekend as well. Yeah. It could be potentially 11 points clear, which, let's face it, they will be safe at that point difference. So they could see it as if they win that game, they could be technically safe. Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's a 1-0. But again, it all depends on Zaha's back. And if Zaha's back, then I think it's a completely different game because Zaha will pick those little pockets of spaces up for Palace. Yeah. And it has that intensity. And let's face it, he's a quality player for him. Yeah, 100%. So he makes things tick. So that could all change it to make it like a 2-1 Palace win. But without Zaha, which obviously the team sheets are going off at the moment, I'm going for a 1-0 Burnley win, just simply because Sean Dyche will probably set his team up to say, right, we win this, we're safe for another year in the Premier League.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'd agree with that. So next game, we've got Man City versus Spurs, which a couple of weeks back would have probably been a massive game. But I think I generally think this...
It could still be a massive game.
But I think this could be maybe Mourinho's start of a downfall. Like maybe getting sacked. Because I think Man City I'm going to destroy them. But then again, it would be the most Mourinho thing in the world to go away to Man City, who are flying, and do a masterclass. But the way City look at the minute, like they're at peak form right now, and Tottenham aren't. So I'm going to go for a 3-0 Man City win.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. See, I've gone for a 3-1 City.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised at Mourinho masterclass because he did it early on in the season, which took everyone by surprise. For me, everyone's got to be all firing for Spurs. Not one player can be poor. They've got to be all on firing cylinders.
Yeah.
Obviously, we all watched, hopefully, the Everton Spurs game during the midweek, which was a brilliant game to watch.
Yeah.
How often are Spurs going to concede 5?
Not very often.
That's not Mourinho's style of
rarity,
play.
Isn't it?
So I reckon he's going to expect a bounce back from his players. And Mourinho normally, 9 times out of 10, does get a response. But I do think the way City are playing at the moment, they're going to have too much for Spurs. Yeah. City are just looking different class.
100%.
But like you say, back of my mind, I wouldn't be surprised if a Mourinho masterclass came up here. And I think knowing what Liverpool doing at 12 o'clock for City, I think they're looking at that and thinking, if they've dropped points there, you know what I mean, that could give them the extra 100%. Intention to go out and make a good performance.
Yeah. So very confident City win. Last game on Saturday is the 8 o'clock kickoff, which is Brighton versus Aston Villa. It's quite an interesting one. Brighton plays some good football. Sometimes struggle to score, but Villa have been brilliant in recent forms. Obviously, I'm looking at the form table right now. Brentford are undefeated in the last 5, though, which is pretty impressive. And Villa have won 1, lost 1, won 1, lost 1, won 1. But this is quite a big game for both teams. I'm going to back Villa just because I think they've got that quality over Brighton. But I think it's going to be a 2-1 Villa win.
Interesting. See, I've going to set my neck out here a bit, and I think it's going to be one of the games of the weekend.
Yeah.
Because I think Brighton at the moment are playing very attractive football.
Uh-huh.
And Villa are very organised and they do look quite good with Grealish and Traore up front. And Watkins is just on fire at the moment.
Yeah.
I've gone 2-1 either way because I can't really call a winner myself because I think it depends if Grealish is man-marked and he's able to produce his magic. I think that would be the key for Villa. Whereas it depends how tightly Maupay and Trossard and they're marked for Brighton and do you know what I mean? So I think it could be a very interesting game. I can't definitely call a winner. No, Marlock could probably be a 0-0 draw because I've said it's going to be the game of the weekend. But for me, I've got to go 2-1 either way. I can't make a clear cut.
Pick one.
Pick one. If I have to pick one, then I'd have to probably just say Brighton.
You go for Brighton?
Because I think Villa are a bit hot and cold. Like you say, lost one.
Fair enough. We will see. We will see. And Sunday now, the 12 o'clock kickoff is Southampton versus Wolves. Basically, they played each other 4 days ago. By the time they play each other. Southampton obviously got a 2-0 win. And do you know what? I'm actually going to back Southampton again. Because Danny Ings scored in the FA Cup, which would be a massive boost for him to score again. Also, Wolves do look pretty poor about Jimenez.
Lack of goals.
Yeah, exactly. Like a vocal point going up front.
Yeah.
And I think Southampton, I'm going to say Southampton. I think it's going to be just like the FA Cup. 2-0 Southampton.
Okay. Well, I've gone 2-0 Wolves. This was bearing in mind before the FA Cup game because I was organising my notes.
Rookie mistake.
Yeah, rookie mistake, you can call it. But I don't know. It's a quite difficult tie to call this weekend because Southampton, you want that bounce back, and they got that bounce back in the FA Cup. Will it last until the Premier League? Wolves want to bounce back because obviously get knocked out in the FA Cup. And let's face it, the FA Cup's a one game where magic happens. So is that kind of mentality Southampton went in with? And the mentality is different in the league? Because let's face it, both teams have got nothing to play for. It's a mid-table clash. No one's going to get relegated. None of them's going to get.
You're right.
Go push for top 6 or anything like that. So it's a mid-table clash. But like you're saying, Wolves have no killer instinct at the moment. Adama Traore, as much as his pace and his physical presence, he couldn't score anywhere. No. Do you know what I mean? He generally can't. Podence is the only attacking, is what a player, but he's the only attacking. So if you neutralise him, you've neutralised Wolves' kind of situation.
Yeah, true.
But no, I did go for a Wolves 2-0 win. I'm going to stick with it. Go with my gut.
So after saying they've not got a threat going forward, apart from one, they can't buy a goal, you're going to say you're going to have a 2-0 win?
Because you never know what's around the corner.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. And next game one, as much as they are a massive, obviously the biggest club in England, I'm going to keep it short and sweet. West Brom, Man U, there's only one winner. There's no doubt. Like, you'd have to be either a deluded rival fan or a diehard West Brom fan to say they're going to beat Man U, because I know...
Devil's advocate, we also said this about Sheffield United, and Sheffield United got a good result against United.
But I would honestly say Sheffield United are actually a better team than West Brom, personally.
Agreed.
And I just think Man U, away from home, their away record's unreal. I'm going to say 5-0 Man U. I really do. I can't see any way West Brom get anything in this game.
In my notes for this game, all I've got is United win. That's all I've put down.
There's not much to say, is there?
No. I've gone for United 4-0.
Sorry, West Brom fans.
I won't be surprised if it's more, if the floodgates opened.
Yeah.
I just want to be a bit devil's advocate because let's face it.
Sam will leave before the end of the season, so he doesn't get relegated.
Oh, it'll be interesting. I reckon he'll stick there because I reckon if he left, he won't get his bonus.
He's not bothered about that. He wants record.
No. But no, it's interesting. Yeah. It could be a goal fest kind of situation.
I kept my short and sweet because don't want to bore people with that, because the next game is probably my game of the weekend. Yours is Brighton, Aston Villa. Mine is Arsenal versus Leeds. This is basically a battle for top 10. Leeds obviously are currently above them with a game in hand as well and 1 point clear. And Leeds, as much as obviously me being a Forest fan and obviously rivalries there and shit like that, I have to credit where credit is due. And Leeds played some unreal football. They were fantastic against Palace. They were a joy to watch, weren't they?
They're the most entertaining Premier League team in the
and I'm actually going to bet an away win Leeds to beat Arsenal. I'm going to say 2-1 Leeds.
I've gone for a 3-1 Leeds.
3-1?
I just think Leeds are a lot more fluid than Arsenal.
They are,
if I'm being honest.
That's for sure.
And I just don't know where the goals are going to come from for Arsenal. I really don't. Because Aubameyang isn't scoring. Lacazette isn't scoring. Pepe scores once in a blue moon.
Yeah, Lacazette has scored a few, but I know what you mean.
It's like Lacazette scored a few, but in the last couple of weeks, the form is just skyrocketed down.
I mean, I'm looking at the form right now. They've won 2 of the last 5, lost 2 of the last 5. Basically, they've not won the last 3 games.
Yeah. So he could expect a bounce back, but how much Leeds gave him trouble at Ellen Road?
Yeah, 100%.
Early in the season, I predicted a bit more, but I think Bamford will be more clinical this time because he is the man in form. So I've gone for a 3-1 Leeds win.
Fair enough. So we've all both gone for Leeds. Next game, a bit like I think Arsenal West Brom is Everton Fulham. Everton at home. Everton are looking good right now. Fulham do play all right, to be fair. They just can't seem to get a goal, or they can't seem to foul click. And I just can't, it might prove me wrong, but I think it's going to be a comfortable 2-0 Everton win. I think Ancelotti's just going to get the job done. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's just going to be a normal day in the office, 90 minutes. They'll probably score early in the first half and then probably get a goal midway through the second half to kill the game off. And so I can't say anything but a 2-0 Everton win. What about you?
I've gone for 1-0 Everton. I think it'll be a lot tighter because I think Fulham at the moment looking good defensively. They're just, like you say, they're not scoring up to opposite ends. and that's what's letting them down and dropping them points.
They've scored 17 goals this year.
I do feel Everton scored all the goals against Spurs the other night.
Oh, yeah. I know
but I think it'll be a 0-0 for the first half, and I think eventually Richarlison will get the goal. If Calvert-Lewin's back, because that's a massive loss if he's injured. Is he back?
I believe he's back, yeah.
But that would be a massive miss. Everton, I can just see a 1-0 kind of situation, because I don't think Fulham would concede 5 or anything like that. I just think it'd be a tight game. Like you say, and Slotty will get the job done. Yeah,
exactly. And then we've got a double header to finish off on Monday night. We've got West Ham at home against Sheffield United, the Carlos Tevez rival. The Carlos Tevez derby, as I like to call it. After them getting relegated by his goal, and then him shouldn't have been there in the first place. Sheffield fans still salty. Trust me, I know them. This is a tough one because West Ham, when I last watched them against Man United, I know it was FA Cup, didn't look great. And if Antonio's still injured, they generally miss Antonio up front because they've not got back. They've generally not got a backup striker.
No.
So honestly, if Antonio doesn't start, I couldn't see anything but a draw. I really can see a draw here. I think I'm going to go for. This is the base if Antonio doesn't play. I'm going to go for a base of a 1-1 draw.
I'd probably have to agree with that. I will disagree with you, obviously, saying West Ham were boring against United. I thought West Ham were very organised against a very good Man United team.
Obviously, going forward, there was nothing.
No, there wasn't nothing going forward, but they did the job. They wanted it to go be a counter-attacking or something. Obviously, 100%. There was missing Antonio, so they didn't have that focal point, like you were saying. But with Sheffield United, they was unlucky against Chelsea. They played brilliantly against Chelsea.
Mm-hmm.
They're starting to hit form at the wrong time of the season, really, that when it looks like it doesn't matter. I'm not
only because 17th, so far. No, not 17th.
I'm not going to say I'm not going to say that down and out yet, but obviously you never say never kind of situation. But it does look bleak from the time being.
You're right, because seven. What are they? They're
is it 10 points?
12 points away from Burnley. And
so
it's just the Burnley side to stay up.
Yeah. So we're predicting a Burnley. You're predicting a Burnley win at the weekend. So if that happens, there could be 15 points going into this game. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, so I'd have to probably agree with you 1-1. It all depends on Antonio. I wouldn't be surprised if a Sheffield United win if I'm being personally honest, because I think they'll want to go down kicking.
West Ham have been good this year, though.
Yeah, West Ham credit's due, obviously.
West Ham, when they could easily go top 4, depending on results on the way.
Yeah, that's it.
It's mad.
The top 4 is so tight at the moment. It's
100%.
Unreal. You think about it, if Liverpool, Leicester draw, West Ham are right up there. Do you know what I mean? If that game ends in a draw, there's a lot of teams that could sneak in. But no, I'm going to go agree with you. I'm going to say 1-1 Sheffield United, West Ham.
And then final game of the week, weekend fixtures, is Chelsea. Your boys are at home against Newcastle. I'm going to put my neck on my line there, and I'm going to say it's going to be 0-0. I say 0-0 for one reason only, because as much as I believe that Bruce is not good enough, I believe he shouldn't be at Newcastle because he actually is boring football. He is probably Tuchel's nightmare. Newcastle won't press. Newcastle will sit so deep that, your passes between your defenders, they won't care. They'll say, do it as much as you want. Get your passes up, get your percentages up, you take it. Because at the end of the day, but the only about I'm looking like an idiot right now, because I'm thinking, if Shaw's injured, if Wilson's out, obviously injured, that's why I don't think
out for 2 months.
That's why I don't think they'll get a goal. But I do think they'll show up shot. Don't get me wrong, Chelsea could, once they get one goal, the floodlights will open. 100%. But I'm going to, from what I've seen from Chelsea and what I've seen from Everton the last few games, Newcastle, I'm just going to pip a 0-0 or a 1-0 Chelsea win, only because the way Tuchel plays, from what I've seen so far, I don't think you're going to lose it under him yet. I still don't think you're going to lose under him yet. This is not a game you'll lose. But don't be surprised, Chelsea fans, if you draw this game. That's all I'm going to say. I could be wrong, and it could be a 4-0 Chelsea like a twat. But, put my neck out there.
Well, you're going to be surprised at what I'm going to say.
Okay.
Here we go. Now, obviously, I'm a Chelsea fan.
Yeah.
If anyone Chelsea fans are watching, I do apologise. I am an actual fan. But if we all know, Newcastle are Chelsea's bogey team. They are one of the bogey teams. I did do my notes before Callum Wilson got announced. He got injured last night for 8 weeks. So rookie error again.
Yeah. So with that in mind, do you want to change it before you say it?
No, I did go for a 2-1 Newcastle win.
2-1 Newcastle win? My God, yes. You're mad.
But just because I think the honeymoon period will be over. We all when Frank got sacked, we all expected the bounce back, as every new manager gets, because all players want to impress. That only lasts for so long. Now, obviously, Tuchel's been in charge, 4, maybe 5 weeks coming up now. How long does that last? Because we're not playing attractive football and we're only just winning games. Like Barnsley, we were shit. And we only just won that game just. Yeah. You know, I mean, credit to Barnsley, they played brilliant. They played us off the pitch. Credit where credit's due. Sheffield United, again, that was only a just win, and that was because of a goalkeeping error.
Yeah.
Wolves, we didn't look like it was on a score for 16 months kind of situation. Burnley, that was the only game was convincing, but Burnley were poor on the day. Yeah. So I think it could be one of those games where the honeymoon period will be over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you're actually about Newcastle?
I'm back in Newcastle because Chelsea have got a bad record against them in recent years. They're a bogey team, and I just have a feeling. I just wouldn't be surprised.
None of us have backed Chelsea. I bet no podcast in the country has backed Newcastle.
It's just like, I agree with you. The Tuchel football we're playing at the moment, I think, will suit Newcastle.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think we have the comfortability at the back to play it. And I don't think the way he plays the midfield at the moment about Kante, we are vulnerable in midfield. And I think players like Almiron will pick those pocket spaces up, because we all know Marcus Alonso is not the quickest. So against Almiron, he ain't going to like it. Reece James will have a tough battle against St. Maximin, who's looking really good at the moment.
He's Newcastle's best player, isn't he?
Yes, in the shadow of a doubt. I would be surprised if he's let Newcastle come the summer transfer window. I won't be surprised if someone big, like, say, Arsenal, maybe Liverpool, even Everton will pick him up.
Everton will be a good move.
Yeah, but I'm still going to go for 2-1.
Interesting.
Because I think Andy Carroll will make a nuisance himself in the box. And I think it gives a different aspect, because don't forget Chelsea are without Thiago Silva and Andreas Christensen, because obviously he got a head injury over the weekend, last night. Obviously could be concussion related, because he come off with a headache. So that could be interesting as well. But yeah, I'm praying I'm wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm absolutely praying I'm wrong, because if the results go the way we want to the weekend, Chelsea could be in top 4.
Yeah.
If Liverpool lose or draw, Chelsea could be in top 4, which would be a massive result after the last few weeks' results.
100%.
But I just feel bogey team, Newcastle.
Yeah.
We was wrong against Southampton. I just feel they're going to maybe surprise a few teams.
It'll be very. I think you could be saying goodbye to the Champions League when you play Atletico Madrid. I really do. But we'll do a preview to the Champions League before. I only said that because that's like 3 games away, and I think Atletico Madrid are basically a 20 times better version of Newcastle.
well, the thing is that we've got such a big games. I believe we've got United after the Atletico Madrid games.
You've
in between
got Atletico Madrid, United, Everton, Leeds, and then back to Atletico Madrid.
Which, let's face it, all 5 games of those are massive.
That'll be when we'll see how good Tuchel is.
Yes, and I think if we get the loss out of the way now against Newcastle, he can kind of get the weak out from the strong kind of situation and get the weeds out.
Maybe. And
it might actually do the team better losing against Newcastle to then hopefully go and beat the teams like United, Atletico. If that makes sense to you guys and you.
Maybe. But that is this weekend's fixtures coming up. I think we're excited for a few games like the Arsenal game and Leeds.
Brighton and Villa.
But yeah, I'm gonna say you're excited for Brighton Villa. Forest Bournemouth would recommend. Sorry, that's my team, Forest. That's why I'm not biased on this show, because my team is never making the Premier League.
What's your prediction for that game, by the way?
Forest
Bournemouth. Let's put it in there.
No one wants to know that. This is a Premier League podcast. We don't come here for championship football, but Forest win 1-0. But that's not a thing. That's a different thing. You know what I mean? Anyway, Ben, as always, thank you for coming
It's been a
along.
pleasure.
Like I said earlier, channel Ben is now part of the channel permanently. Now he's basically a partner. If you haven't already, go check out our Instagram. Also Twitch. He will also be doing some Twitch stuff now, giving me some days off to basically drink more. But make sure you all stay safe. Like I said, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye, guys.